Revenge films.
I got engaged to my fiancé Kevin in my mid-20s. We had already introduced ourselves to each other's parents and were getting ready for marriage. Our wedding invitations had been sent out, so all we had to do was look forward to our wedding. Now that the wedding preparations were out of the way, I decided to use my free time to get my driver's license. My fiancé wanted me to quit my job after we got married, so I handed in my resignation at work. I wasn't quitting my job to become a housewife. My husband's family had their own business, and they wanted me to join their company now that I was becoming part of their family. Everything in my life was going well until one day, my husband came home to see me with my best friend.
I'm sorry to do this to you, but I'd like to call off our engagement. I've fallen in love with Lisa and want to marry her instead. We're actually expecting a baby together.
I was shocked to hear this. I didn't know that he was seeing someone else behind my back, and of all people, he was dating my best friend. Kevin and I had been dating for a long time, and it was my dream to marry him. I also wanted to have kids with him, but just like that, my dream had been crushed. I didn't want to get pregnant until we were married, so I was careful about that. But now that I knew that he had impregnated my best friend, I was furious. I was just as angry with my best friend Lisa. What was she thinking, and how could she do this to me? I had been planning for the perfect wedding for months, and Kevin and Lisa ruined it all. Kevin and I first met in middle school. We've known each other for a very long time. I couldn't believe that he would betray me in the worst way possible. When we both entered university, we had a long-distance relationship because we lived in different parts of the country at the time. I felt like an idiot for trusting Lisa. I thought that she was happy for me and Kevin, but I was wrong. Kevin had the decency to apologize, but for some reason, Lisa didn't seem apologetic at all. What was her problem? I now knew that her friendship was fake and that she had used me to get closer to Kevin. Kevin came from a good family, and I guess Lisa wanted to marry someone like him. He was a good catch. She must have been so proud in that moment. She had gotten everything that she wished for. Lisa seemed proud of herself and happy with the outcome. I couldn't do anything about the situation because Lisa was pregnant with Kevin's child. I knew that it was all over for me. I became very depressed after that. I never imagined that something so terrible could happen to me. I had thoughts of committing suicide as well. I didn't have anything to look forward to anymore. I had the urge to jump in front of a train if that would put an end to my misery. And to make matters worse, Kevin's father got in touch with me and said that he would do everything in his power to make sure that our wedding took place as planned. Perhaps he was trying to be considerate, but I didn't see the points of going ahead with the wedding. Kevin was the father of Lisa's child, and I don't think I could ever get over that. I found out later that Kevin's father wanted me to marry Kevin for selfish reasons. He didn't care about my happiness at all. Kevin's father didn't want his business partners to find out about the mess that Kevin had created, as it would be an embarrassment to his family. He told me that Kevin and I could announce that we broke off things after a while most of the people would have lost interest. I was so disappointed in Kevin and his family because they were not the honorable people that I thought they were. My parents were furious with Kevin and his family for what they had done to me. My parents sued Kevin's family for the mental suffering that they caused me. Suing Kevin's family didn't make me feel any better, and my mental health was deteriorating. My parents were very concerned. They suggested that I go live with my aunt for a while for a change of scenery. My aunt was single and had a fabulous career. My aunt allowed me to accompany her to the office. I was mesmerized by the way she worked. She offered me a job, and I decided to take it. After working with my aunt for a while, I was transferred and healed. Soon after that, I met my current husband. We hit it off right away, and after we were married, we had 2 kids. Because my husband knew what I had gone through with Kevin, he agreed to not having a wedding. He just went to City Hall to register a marriage. He was very understanding. My parents were also very happy for me. My husband and I built a large house so that we could live there with his parents. They were going to help us raise our kids. I loved my new house. It was my dream home, and everything was going beautifully. My in-laws and I got along well. My father-in-law still worked part-time, and he loved his job. My mother-in-law was a famous cook, and she would often appear on television shows. They also supported my career and would help out with the kids whenever I needed them. Why don't you hire a housekeeper? You can't do everything on your own. It's okay to ask for help. I'm sure that you want some free time just to have fun with your children. I was so grateful to my in-laws and the happy new life that I was having now. I was reluctant to go see my parents because they lived in my old neighborhood, and it reminded me of Kevin and Lisa. That's why I would ask my parents to come visit me instead of the other way around. But then my father passed away, and I was back in my old neighborhood for the funeral. I was too sad to think about Kevin and Lisa, though. I had just lost my dear father. My husband and children attended the funeral with me. I stayed with my mother for a while. I wanted to support her through this. It had been a while since I spent so much time with my mother. I'm glad to see you doing so well, Karen. It would have made your father happy too. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to make the time to see you more often. That's all right. I know that it's not easy for you to be back, and I can see that you're very happy with your family. Your father and I enjoyed reading the letters you sent us, along with the beautiful photos of your family. I began to cry after hearing these words. I missed my father terribly. I was upset that I didn't get to see him before he passed away. My father had passed suddenly, and my mother and I were having a hard time processing his death. But in front of my kids, my mother was strong, and she would smile and laugh. I asked her if she'd like to move in with us, but she told us that she preferred to stay in this house, which was full of memories of my father. I started sending my mother some money every month. I wanted her to live a comfortable life even after my father was gone. But after a while, my mother told me that she didn't need me to send her money. She said that she could live off the insurance money that she was about to receive. Okay, well, the kids and I are going to come visit once a month. We don't want you to be lonely. Also, you're more than welcome to stay with us any time. Yes, thank you, Karen. Say hello to your husband's parents for me. Take care of Mom, and I'll see you again next month. Call me whenever you need me. Do you want me to stop by the department store before we go home? I'd like to pick up some gifts for your parents. And I'm sure that the kids are starving. They were on such a good behavior at the funeral.
Sounds good.
Yay! I want something yummy. Me too.
I also need to pick up some stationery in order to write letters to my relatives.
Okay.
As we were making our way to the department store, I saw a couple that I recognized. They came out of an old apartment building. It was Kevin and Lisa. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Karen, is that really you? And is this your family?
Lisa wasn't wearing any makeup, and her hair was very messy. And she was clad in an ugly tracksuit. Kevin wasn't dressed any better. He was wearing a wrinkled suit and had a mustache which made him look like a clown.
Karen! It's so nice to see you.
Yeah. This is my husband and our 2 children. My husband owns a tech company, and he's doing really well.
That's great.
I only said that to rub it in their face, and it worked because they seemed surprised to hear that.
Mommy, I'm hungry, and I'm sick of eating instant noodles. Okay, let me prepare you something to eat.
Lisa seemed a little embarrassed, and she changed the subject.
What brings you back? What are you doing these days?
I came back to attend my father's funeral. I live in a different town with my family and in-laws. We're on our way home now.
I see. Well, I'm glad to see you happy.
Yes, I am. I also have a great job. My in-laws work full-time as well. My mother-in-law is a famous cook. Perhaps you've heard of her?
What? Of course I've heard of her. She's super famous.
Yes, she is. Since we're all so busy, we have a housekeeper who helps us with chores. Lisa seemed jealous of my fabulous life. Hey, Kevin, I want to thank you. Because you cheated on me with Lisa, I now have a wonderful life with my husband and 2 kids. I hope that you and Lisa are just as happy. I said that out of spite because from the looks of it, they did not seem happy.
I'm glad to hear that, Karen. Lisa and I are happy too. It seems that things worked out for everyone.
After that, they ran off. Once I got home, I texted my mother about running into Kevin and Lisa. She then told me that when I didn't go through with my wedding with Kevin, his parents were so embarrassed and ashamed that they cut Kevin off. Everyone found out that Kevin had cheated on me and impregnated another woman. Business partners lost faith in Kevin's family's business, and they stopped working with them. By the time Lisa had given birth to their daughter, they were penniless, and the people around them didn't congratulate them because they knew what Kevin and Lisa had done to me. Our mutual friends were angry with Lisa for betraying me and stopped being her friend.
I can't believe that Lisa slept with her best friend's fiancé! What a slut!
We know that you're after Kevin's family's money. No matter where they went, people gossiped about their affair, and they had no choice but to isolate themselves from everyone. Since Kevin and Lisa both had bad reputations, they had difficulty finding stable jobs. Lisa had no idea that I found myself a new man and was happily married. After she found out, she became crazy jealous and started cyber-stalking me. She looked at the fun photos I posted about my life on my Instagram and envied me.
I'm so jealous of Karen. It's not my fault that she gets to go on all these fancy vacations with her perfect family. Kevin, I want to go on vacation too. It's not fair.
Kevin and Lisa fought constantly and eventually they got divorced. They didn't deserve to be happy after what they did to me. That's why they ended up where they are today.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.